When fall water temps drop into that mid-50s to mid-60s range, well, bass get a little moody, right? Their metabolism's slowing down, so they're not chasing every bait, but they'll still crush an easy meal if it looks wounded or worth the effort. So this is that in-between season where patience and finesse start out fishing speed and power. So what lures should you be using during this time? Number one, you are in prime jerk bait season. Bass are feeding right now because there's a lot of bait, but they're lazy about it. They'd rather ambush something that looks half dead. So that twitch pause mimics a wounded shad fluttering in the cooling water. And as the water gets colder, the longer you want it to hang in between twitches. It just drives them nuts. So I tested this down on Lake Guntersville during a knucklehead event. I caught over 100 bass in a weekend on the jerkbait, almost exclusively on the Bill Lewis scope stick from a fish bolt box I received and a Berkeley Stunner, which I borrowed from a teammate. So thank you, Seth. You're never getting this guy back. My go-to setup, I'm going to be throwing this on a short 6/8 medium power, moderate action rod with 12-pound fluorocarbon, really perfect for working that cadence without ripping the hooks out. And live scope or not, here's a killer tip. When the bait gets close to the kayak to your boat, just don't reel it slow. Pick up the cadence right at the end, and that quick burst often triggers followers that were just watching. Next up, it is swim bait season, but you gotta slow it way down. The bait fish feel that chill too. They're moving sluggishly, and bass are watching for the weak ones. And so that's your cue. Give them that lazy, dying bait fish roll. Those glide baits, those slow rolled soft swim baits, both are deadly. The key, look like easy calories, not a cardio workout. I like swinging for the fences with an 8-inch MAGDRAFT this time of the year. This oversized meal can turn followers into believers. You can also downsize to the 6-inch MAGDRAFT, or if you're feeling froggy, you can even go trophy hunting with the 10-inch MAGDRAFT as well. All right, so next up for the 55 to 65 degree water, that is going to be this guy right here, the jig. When temps drop, bass go bottom hunting for the biggest, easiest meal they can ambush. That's why I break out usually a 3/8 ounce peanut butter and jelly jig with a Missile D-bomb trailer, basically serving up filet to hungry bass, right? You can crawl it, hop it along the rocks, the stumps, the laydowns, but don't rush it. Bass want slow, deliberate movements. Now, if you happen to find them in an ornery mood and they are chasing bait, switch over to a swim jig. I like the all-terrain tackle or 6th Sense Divine paired with a KVD Rage Swimmer or Ghost Shad in that KVD Magic color. That combo gives you a nice thump, still natural and cooler water that slow retrieves with a little bit of pops, and boom, they will clobber it. And remember, jigs are like fishing Legos, right? You can change the skirt, change this trailer, the head weight, and you got yourself a whole new presentation. Fall's all about adjustments, and jigs let you fine tune until that bite clicks. I personally have a lot of success fishing jigs on wood during this time of the year, so grab your jig and start jacking some jaws. Next up, it's gonna be this guy right here. This is gonna be the old chatterbait. So when the fall wind's blowing and the water staying, the chatterbait is straight up money. Bass are feeding a lot. There's a lot of bait right now, and that subtle blade vibration rings the dinner bell. But that same fast retrieve that nailed them during the summer is not going to be wildly effective in colder water. So you want to slow that roll way down, just enough to thump. Think idling a truck, not revving the engine. Add a pause, let it flutter, and a lot of times that's when the bite will happen. So I like gearing mine up with a Cashin chatterbait rod. This is the Icon, and a 7.5 to 8 1-to-1 reel, and a 12 to 15 pound fluorocarbon or braid to fluorocarbon leader. I'm a big Z-Man fan. I'm going to be running the jackhammer, of course. I'm going to be running the baby jack, the Evo Elites. Those are some of my favorite. This is also the time of the year I like breaking out the big blade to slow it down a little bit more. And for the trailers, I like the chatter shads. I'm using black and blue right now because the water I'm fishing in is stained. Now, a little tip for fishing the chatterbaits. A lot of people will lose that hook set because our reaction time to touch is like 150 to 170 milliseconds. And so what a lot of times anglers are feeling when they first get that hit is that vortex that bass is making when it opens its mouth and sucks in that water and sucks in the bait. And being that our reaction time is so fast, we're feeling that and ripping that bait before that bait gets down into the mouth to get a good pin with that hook set. And so a lot of times what I like to do when fishing the chatterbait is, one, use a rod with a softer tip, or if you don't have that, you can kind of fish it at a 45-degree angle, so whenever it does suck it in, it just pulls down your rod, and then you can give it a second, set the hook, and you're gonna get a nice clean hook set with that. And you're gonna catch a whole lot more bass doing that. So keep that in mind on your hook sets. All right, next up is gonna be this guy right here, the old spinnerbait. Fall and spinnerbaits go together like coffee on a cold morning. And by now, those spring-born bait fish have grown, and bass know it. They are bulking up right now because there is a lot of bait out there, right? And they're looking for those easy meals. So you wanna match your blades to the local forage and get the right mix. You wanna target the backs of creeks, channel swings, wind-blown banks, and smash that spinnerbait into cover and structure. Every deflection is a reaction bite chance. Now, as the temps drop, so early fall, you want a double willow leaf blade for that flash and that speed. Mid fall, you want to mix a willow blade with a Colorado blade, like the one I have on right here. And the late fall, you want a double Colorado blade, just like this right here, but 2 of them, and that's going to slow this spinnerbait down and give it that nice thump. Fish this thing so slow, the blades are barely humming in this cold water, and it feels too slow, slow it down even more. That is the fall spinnerbait magic. And that right there, folks, is your 55 to 65 degree game plan. Jerkbait, slow swim bait, jig, swim jig, chatterbait, and the good old spinnerbait. Now, if you're still in it to win it, if you live where I do up here in Northeast Ohio and you fish until there's ice on the water, well, in the next video, we're dropping into the 50 to 55 degree zone where patience, precision, and a little stubbornness separate the anglers from the lawn chair philosophers, right? So hit that subscribe button because we're about to slow things way down and learn how to catch bass when everyone else is packing up and blaming the cold front. And you can check out that video right there. Thanks for watching, folks. Appreciate you.